Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Omega Flights, issue number one by Scott Collins, who's the artist, and Michael Avon Ooming, and I believe that's how you say it. My knowledge about Omega Flight or Alpha Flight is extremely limited. I know of all the characters, but when it comes to backgrounds, their friendships, how they get their powers, very limited. I know some stuff. I know that Vindicator, who was the leader of Alpha Flight, he was killed by Omega Flight, hence, yeah, because this is the new Omega Flight. And he and his girlfriend Heather had some kind of a friendship with Wolverine. Wolverine is Canadian, as you know. There's a whole history behind that, but it seems that Alpha Flight is disbanded because something happened in the past. I don't know what. And yeah, we're gonna continue with Omega Flight, I guess. Let's dive in. So it seems, because this is part of the initiative storyline with the whole registration act or legislation act, I'm not sure, when all the superheroes, must be registered. It was a war, between heroes with Captain America against Iron Man, Tony Stark. It was a whole thing. I don't know the whole storyline anymore. It's been a long time. But it seems that super villains from America is now coming to Canada because, well, Canada doesn't have that registration act that superheroes need to, filed or whatever. And it seems that Agent Brown, I guess, yeah, Agent Brown is talking to the Prime Minister. Now, who is this Agent Brown? Agent Brown is part of S.H.I.E.L.D. In this timeline, Iron Man, Tony Stark took over as the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., etc. And basically, it's bad for business. Let's leave it at that, right? And then we go to, I don't know, school. Well, this guy is talking about, I believe, math, astronomics, but all these people are saying, hey, I thought you were dead. What happened? Well, it's none other than, and I knew immediately who this was because teaching and smart guy, it's none other than a Walter Lankowski, is that how you say it? He is basically Sasquatch. He went toe to toe to with a lot of superheroes, villains, the Hulk, Wendigo, I guess. And so all these kids say, hey, can you transform? Is the real Guardian dead? Or was it one of those knockoffs? What's it like to die? How can Snowbird die if she is a goddess? What about Shaman? Maybe he jumped in his pouch. Do you know Bigfoot? Did the real Alpha die or were they just clones? Are you a clone? So these kids say, hey, please transform into Sasquatch. And he says, well, no, it's just because the ceiling is too low and it hurts. So these young kids are all bummed out. So, you're a clone. He says, I am not a clone. But he's some kind of a substitute teacher. And he says, so he did some kind of a favor to this girl or to this woman, that's probably running the school. And then, oh no, Agent Brown is here. And he's from the Canadian Secret Intelligence Services, CSIS. And he says, no. So he says basically no. But then, we come back to that a little bit later. Meanwhile, at the border, a group of people in a car who we don't see yet is reading up on Alpha Flight. And it says, hey, what are you doing? Well, I'm reading up on Alpha Flight because they are the Canadian superhero team and I want to, know more about it. So, speaking of rampant super villains, it seems that the Canadians are not, they are not wussies. They're making Swiss cheese out of this guy, right? He says, basically, they say, hey, we need to keep a low profile. But once we cross the border, it's beer, banks, and brutes, boys. And, right. Meanwhile, so Walter says Lankowski, what, I don't know his last name, but Walter, he said name, but I always find it weird that superheroes says, no, I'm not going to do that. But then 2 seconds later, they are just in some kind of a headquarters and talk about joining superhero team. I mean, you said no, dude. What are you doing here on the helicarrier? I don't know. Anyway, So this guy explains about Americans rampaging through Canada, killing people and all that stuff, and so he wants to bring Omega Flight back, right? And so it seems that the original Omega Flight stole the name or something, and he wants to bring it back, and and he says, well, Omega Flight is Canada's last line of defense, and he's thinking about that. That's maybe his last chance. I don't know what that means, but basically he caves in, and right, and because it seems that Canada doesn't have many superheroes, and the superheroes that are in Canada are not, how do you say, they are, well, they don't want to do it, or they are not up to snuff, they are not, I don't know, they're just low-level superheroes, they're not worthy. So one of those members has become U.S. agent, and longtime Marvel fans and know U.S. agent. He is a dick. He was a dick in West Coast Avengers. He's a terrible person. I genuinely dislike this guy in IRL. I mean, I know it's comics. I know they write him as a dick, and he has some good moments. But in general, I really dislike U.S. agent. And so also Spider-Woman. Julia Carpenter, and Talisman. He wants Talisman to join, and he says not going to happen. Then he shows a photo, right? And he says, no way. Like I said, last chances. So what does that mean? I don't know, because I haven't read the second issue. But maybe part of the cover will reveal it if that's the case, because these are the guys that are going to join. What I find strange is that I don't see Walter Lanko, that guy, Sasquatch. He's not on here. Maybe that doesn't mean anything, or maybe it does mean everything. I don't know. So it seems that my battery is about to die. That's not good at all. Let's see if we can make it. So anyway, so there's some kind of a festival at this reservoir, and we see, I believe, the new shaman, and it's Talisman, talking about the past and what happened, and more like stories for the kids, right? Walter, and also she's been waking up by this strange owl who is talking to her, right, about stuff. Long-time readers know that this is Snowbird. She's a goddess, I believe. She can transform into animals. I don't know, maybe it's some kind of goddess of nature. So then Walter comes in, and and it seems Talisman is very happy to see her, and or to see him, and but he wants to talk about her joining the team. But she says, no, listen, Alpha Flight, what happened there, that really hurt me, and I'm needed here in this reservoir, people need me. And she says, hey, let the Americans, clean the mess up by themselves. But Walter says, well, but they are here to making it worse. Meanwhile, in this bar, we see these guys are, trashing the place and even killing people. And these women are very afraid. So, now who is this? I wonder who. Well, you probably know. It's one of my favorite super villains in Marvel Comics. This group. Love it. And we are here. This is the Wrecking Crew, by the way. I love the Wrecking Crew. So we have Pile Driver, Cannonball. Who is this guy anymore? So Pile Driver, Wrecker, Pile Driver, Bulldozer. Yeah, I don't know, but these guys. So he says, I smell that, Pile Driver. What's that, brother? The spell of not Spider-Man, not Avengers, or Fantastic Four on any other paint in my rear. I love Canada. All right, and so this guy says, don't move, I'll shoot you if you don't let these people out of here. So this guy just, stopping him, and hands in pain, whatever. Meanwhile, and yeah, it's Sasquatch, and he's basically Hulk level, but he also, you know, his intelligence is mostly in the way. He is also some kind of a vessel for some demon or spirit or something. It's a long history with Sasquatch. So he says, Sasquatch, I thought you were dead. Yeah, well, me too. I was wrong. Don't worry, I'll fix that. I'll bet he's a clone. I read him a clone. I am not a clone. And I'm not afraid of you, which is a really weird sentence for someone who is Hulk level. Well, he's not really on Hulk level. He's super powered. He's pretty strong. If you say that, basically it means that you are insecure, right? But then, you know, he does the opposite. And so the wrecking crew say, hey, you should be. When we get done with you, you do what? You thought you come up here and rape my country? You thought we can defend ourselves, that we are weak? You thought wrong. I mean, this is exactly what I want to see with a super powered being that is really, really strong. Not saying, oh, I'm not afraid of you. No, this is, you know, you go toe to toe, you show your strength, you kick ass. That's what you need to do. But the wrecking crew are 4, Sasquatch is just 1, and he gets a licking. So he says, no, you fought wrong, Chewie. When we get done with you, I'm going to use you for toilet paper. But then, I don't know, Sasquatch goes crazy. He's ripping his face open, and he says, no, I'm going to let that happen. And this is probably a flashback from what happened to Alpha Flight. I don't know what happened, but, you know, people died, I guess. And then he started to cry. But then one of the wrecking crew throws a truck at him. And it explodes. And they say, nobody messes with us. Nobody messes with the wrecking crew. Damn, I love Canada. So yeah, he's getting a beating. I'm not sure he's going to survive. We're going to find out in the next issue, guys. So yeah, this is it. Short and sweet. I love it. I love Scott Kolins' art. Sometimes the color is a little bit too dark here and there. We're going to see if it actually holds up. This 5 issues max miniseries. And so yeah, stick around, guys. Hope you liked the video. Subscribe to my channel and all the YouTube jazz. And see you next time. Bye-bye.